Moment of truth. Do these headlights work?
So when I bought this M135i, I knew I had to get quite a lot of spares, being the bonnet, front bumper, fenders, crash bar, and the headlights. Now the headlights are the biggest one because you need to make sure that the headlights match specifically with your car, otherwise they will not work. So when I got this 1 Series M Sport, they had the headlights I needed, so now it's time to remove them and check if they actually work.
Now a couple of other things have arrived, including this plastic air duct. So this air duct is for the oil coolant radiator, which sits of course with the oil coolant radiator. So that should sit roughly around there. Of course, once this is back straight up, that sits roughly around there with a little bracket on the top. Old one, new one. So something else that also arrived last week, which we'll most probably get to this week, are these bad boys. Now these are the curtain airbags for the interior, so we'll most probably get onto that this week, which you'll see in next week's video, but at least we've got this so we can completely fit everything in the interior. I think that'll be most probably the last thing that needs to be done in the interior itself. So it's just these curtain airbags, then yeah, the interior should be good. Another little addition to the M135 is the engine start stop button. So this I got in red, which we will be replacing and popping in the front there.
Now that we've seen all the spares that have arrived, let's crack on to stripping the front again, starting with this lower bar, just trying to create a bit of space to remove all the cracked plastics and seeing exactly what we'll need to remove them. Then moving on to the top of the engine, just removing the air intake bottle. This will create a lot more space for us to work with on the top and see exactly what we are in for.
Okay, sweet. So now we can actually see the space between the radiator and the engine, but I don't think the M135, of course being a bigger engine, comes a lot closer. We don't have this amount of play here, but the fence still seems alright, everything seems alright here. I'm praying this is the same as the M135 radiators, not because this is a diesel manual, mine's a petrol automatic. But still looks alright, because that's the main sort of thing. But yeah, this is what we are currently looking at. So this front crash bar, that's exactly what I wanted, and the headlights, the fenders, the bonnet, and of course the bumper. So everything sits nicely. Let's try see if we can remove these headlights. Or maybe we could actually try hook them up to the M135 that's sitting here to try see if they work. Yes, I like that idea.
So to remove this headlight, there are a couple of screws on top that connect the headlight bracket to the front crash bar. Then another 2 screws that connect the headlight bracket to the frame. Once that is undone, it's just to take out the electrical plug, and there we have it, one brand new, well, second-hand headlight. So the first thing I did when I removed the headlight was to go back to the old headlight that we removed off the M135 and check if the codes matched up. Now if the 2 codes did match up, then we would be all good, but if they didn't, we were gonna be in some serious trouble. Now it seemed majority of the codes did match up, so we should be in the green. Now before I continue stripping the remainder of the front, I wanted to check if these headlights worked. So first things first, let's get the new ones connected to the old plug on the M135, turn it on and see if we get some lights. Hey, I think I see a little light there. Hello. And I see some angel eyes turning on as well. There we go. So these headlights do officially work. I will of course be testing out the brights, testing out the flickers, testing out the normal LED light, but so far so good. Everything is connected and seems to be working. A bit of a gamble with these headlights, but I'm glad it did pay off. As you can see, the headlight is working completely, connected the side, so I'm pretty sure the other side should connect as well, and both of them working.
Now we know the headlights officially works, means that we can continue stripping the front. Next thing on the list is to check the front crash bar and all the air ducts, and then of course the subframe.
So I started off by removing the bolts at the bottom that hold the bumper bar, and then removing this foam piece as well, just so that it wouldn't get damaged and is out the way. Once I loosened the other side, you can see this bar coming out. Now we have bought this bar in the previous video, you can see it arriving, so at least that bar is nice and sorted. Next, moving on to the bumper deformation elements. Now this is what holds the radiator, the front bumper bar and the brake air ducts in place. Onto the fender liner on the passenger side. Now we didn't have to remove this one before because the bumper had come out. If it didn't, then of course we'd have to remove this one first and then remove the bumper, but luckily the bumper had popped out, so we didn't have to remove this, but we're going to be removing it now in order to access the bolts for the front crash bar. With that removed, I could access a lot more of the plastics and the sensors, starting off with the temperature sensor. Once that was out the way, I could remove the two bolts that holds the headlight bracket to also remove this side's headlight. So while I was putting the headlight away, my dad continued stripping the under tray. That will of course give us a lot more access to all the bolts and nuts underneath the car. So just a word of advice, it's always a good idea to keep any bolt, nuts, plastic fittings, anything you take off of your parts car, because of course when you try to repair your damaged car, that won't have majority of your smaller bolts and nuts and plastic fittings. Yes, it will have the bigger, bulkier parts, but not your smaller ones in between, which makes life a lot easier. After a bit of a well-deserved break, we continued stripping the under panel and then onto the plastics on the side. So this under tray did take us quite a bit of time because it does cover majority of the front leading up to the middle of the car, but once we got the final bolts and screws undone, then it did come out like a puzzle. Once that was out of the way, we could start removing more of the plastics and coverings underneath the car. Removing also more of the plastic pipes, which include air pipes and water pipes, just to get them out of the engine bay, so we had a more clear view of all of the bolts and nuts that needed to come out for the front crash bar. And then finally moving on to the crash bar itself, removing the main bolts on the sides so it can come out all in one piece. So it did start getting a bit late and dark, but luckily we did have torches just to try and strip as much as we could have.
But that's all for this week, guys. If you like what you've seen, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, share it with anyone you think that will enjoy this rebuild, and I'll catch you guys next week. Take care. Ducts, and then of course the subframe. So that should sit rough. Ooh.